Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ogi and thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you are new here, please support my dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber by subscribing, liking and sharing. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for joining me today. In today's video, we'll be talking about something really interesting that a lot of us are very familiar with, and that is bad habits. Now, I'm not here to tell you that smoking is bad because I'm sure you already know that, and neither am I here to talk to you about drinking because I'm sure your hangover must have done a good job with that. Well, I'm here to talk to you about bad habits that prevent you from reaching your goals. So first things first, what is bad habits? Bad habits are those habits that you have that tend to intrude on your life. They tend to jeopardize your mental health, your physical health, your emotional, as well as your spiritual health. There are a lot of bad habits that prevent you from being successful, but in today's video, I'll be focusing on 5 major bad habits that you need to start working on today. And number 1 on my list is constantly complaining. If you are guilty of constantly complaining, I'm sure you know that complaining does not really change anything. If anything, it annoys the people around you. So you need to fix that by trying to understand that even though you have it bad, there are people that have it worse. And rather than spending a lot of time complaining, you can do something about your situation. And that is by finding solutions to whatever problem that is plaguing you. The second bad habit that is really holding you from success is constantly throwing blame on other people. One thing about throwing blames is, as much as it may seem like the most logical thing to do, especially when you have like a big problem that you cannot solve, it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't help anybody. If anything, it makes everything worse. Let me explain. So if, for example, there's a big problem in the office and instead of taking responsibility and saying, yeah, I know I did this and I messed up, and you throw the blame onto somebody else, now that problem may seem like it was solved because you did not get scolded, but in the real sense, the problem has not been solved because you are probably going to make the same mistakes over and over again, and it would further cause more problem to the office. And this is why it is very necessary that you take responsibility for your actions, learn from your mistakes and make corrections, and you cannot do that if you keep throwing the blame to somebody else. The third bad habit you're probably guilty of is being negative. Being negative is one of the most annoying things ever because I do not like being around negative people, and I'm sure you probably do not like being around negative people. Now, what I do not understand about people that are negative is why. Why do you think that it would help you to tell yourself bad things about yourself? It doesn't take anything to be positive, really. All you need to do is change the bad words that you use on yourself and be positive. I love positive affirmations. If I solve a problem, I tell myself, oh my God, you're so smart. And at first it was like, oh, you're being vain or something. But right now, when I say that, I actually feel smart and it makes all the difference in the world. Now, another bad habit that a lot of us are very guilty of that has a way of affecting our future and our success is living in the past. And living in the past can be very tempting, especially when you've had better experiences in your past, when you've had more money, more fame, or more friends. You tend to gravitate towards dwelling in the past. If you have a habit of living in the past, your present will always suffer because you will not be able to make all the necessary changes or make all the necessary improvements on your life that would help you have a better future. Whenever you get the urge to go back to your past experiences and relive them, you should ask yourself these questions. What can I do today that would help me live a better tomorrow? What can I do today that would help me have a better future? Or what can I do today that is going to help me recreate the amount of success I had in my past in my future? Once you're able to do that, you would begin to see actual changes in your life. The last bad habit that I'll be addressing in today's video is lying. I left this one for last because I have a lot to say about lying. If you've ever been to church, they've told you that lying is bad. Your mom has said the same thing. Your father has said the same thing. Your siblings, your teachers have told you how bad lying is. But for some reason, you're failing to understand that it is actually bad. And if you think that I'm going to tell you otherwise, you're mistaken because lying is horrible. If you have a reputation as a liar, nothing you do would ever make sense to anybody. People would always think you're lying. Even when you're saying the truth, nobody will want to believe you because they just assume that you're lying. And what this does to you is that it has a way of crippling all your future chances, because I personally would not want to work with anybody that has a reputation of being a liar. I would not want to, entrust my money into somebody's hands when I know that I cannot trust the person to say what something actually is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have never lied before because that would be a lie. But one thing that anybody that knows me will tell you about me is that I hardly ever lie. And because people know that I hardly ever lie, makes me trustworthy in their eyes, and I like that. Now that you know some of the bad habits holding you back, here are a few tips to breaking bad habits. The first thing you need to do is to try to substitute your bad habits with good ones. So for example, if you have a tendency of lying most of the time, try to say the truth every now and then. Another thing that would actually help is to try to start small. Once you start small, it kind of makes everything seem almost insignificant, and those tiny changes you make here and there would help you improve your life in the long run. Also, get an accountability partner, somebody that would hold you responsible for what you have said you're going to do. So if, for example, you've said, oh, I'm going to say one nice thing about myself every day, and you fail to say nice things about yourself every day, this your accountability partner will remind you that you said you were going to do this and you did not. By having that constant reminder, it tends to make you want to do well, because you do not want to let yourself down, and you also do not want to let your accountability partner down. The last thing I would recommend is to try to always reward yourself. I love rewards. I love to reward myself for my little achievements, because in the long run, those little achievements are what will make up your life and make you a better person. I never forget to reward myself, and I do it in the weirdest of ways, and that's why I said rewards doesn't have to be like something out of the box. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. It just has to be something that means a lot to you. So this is where I'm going to end my video for today. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, comment, turn on the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post another video. Subscribe, guys, and I will see you guys next week. Mwah!